All right, so we are doing a whatever may come out. This is where it's dealer's choice, or more so the divine's choice on the message. After I shuffle the cards, the Holy Spirit tells me what we need to talk about. Oh yeah, that reminds me. So for some reason during the shuffling, I heard on repeat the Backstreet Boys song. I don't remember which one. I think it's called like Everybody. It starts out with "Oh my God, we're back again." And then I kept hearing the Backstreet's back, all right parts of the song. So I'm really not sure if that's more so confirmation from someone else watching this or if it's actually playing into the message and meaning. It might just be like indicating a very significant time in your life. That song came out in like what I think like 96, 97, like mid 90s. And so that might have been an era of time you want to think back on as we're going through these messages. And then another thing that I heard after I laid the cards down, especially with the Seven of Swords here, but I mean the cards themselves, which we'll get into because we're clearing some toxicity out of your life. I distinctly heard though, as soon as I laid these, you're being lied to, and that's a big reason why the divine is coming forward. There's a message about either lying to yourself, or an energy or a person or a group of people around you lying to you, and I think there's some divine intervention to be had. I'm picking up possibly a toxic pattern within yourself that needs some significant clearing. You need an exorcism. I think you have guides with you to help you along this, and we will look at this a bit more. But it's a cycle that you've lived long enough, and the Holy Spirit is here to help you with this. And you can't build divine peace through a sense of like strategic survival. You're being called to really stop outsmarting your own spirit and to trust that honesty, even messy honesty will, this will do what strategy simply can't. We've got the warrior as the archetype of this reading, and it's in the shadow attribute. And the warrior says, trading ethical principle for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. And this energy is really about ego-driven ambition and moral compromise. This is like you're fighting battles to win, but battles that don't honor. And it's kind of this energy of like proving or defending or conquering to kind of regain control when something feels unstable around you. The divine is shining a light on where integrity or compassion here may be edged out by necessity or possibly exhaustion, possibly just, this survival mode mentality. The tarot cards supporting this energy are the High Priestess in reverse, the Ten of Cups, and then the Lovers in reverse. The High Priestess talks about disconnection from intuition. Like your inner knowing is muffled or ignored in kind of favor of action or logic instead. The Ten of Cups is the ideal. It's like the dream of emotional fulfillment, kind of the why behind everything. And then the Lovers in reverse is showing misalignment. There's like fractured values or maybe disharmony between choice and conviction. Together, this trio of cards says that, something that looked like peace or happiness may have been built on a disconnection from your higher guidance, like leading to a moral or essentially like a relational fork in the road. There's love and loyalty here, but the divine is asking, like, at what cost to your truth is this? And then, the bottom of the deck here, what's hidden beneath the surface. Oh, and the goddess of beauty. Okay, so the angel guidance, the goddess of beauty says that you are a wondrous being of light. There is nothing to change or to fix. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. It's almost like an understanding and making sure that, like, this is a transformation of the heart. And it's trying to take you out of like survivor protective mode that you've had to be on. You've had to hustle. You've had to maybe do some things that aren't the most honorable just to keep your sanity, keep your finances, keep, whatever you've got going on in your life, keep your health, keep your job. I mean, all these things could have kind of come or stemmed from, or this like energy around it is kind of wrapped into survival. doing whatever you need to do to put food on the table, to put power in your house and, clothes on your back, etc. And so I think the divine is saying is like, this isn't here to like blame you and make you feel like shit, because you're not. You are, if anything, a goddess of beauty yourself. You are wondrous. You're full of light, and there's nothing to change or fix. But the divine is coming in to help you clear out and kind of exercise maybe what you've been avoiding, what you've been running from, or whatever has been lying to you, whether it's yourself or some type of energy or person around you. There is some like illusions and a tendency, I think, to escape too. And the exorcist on what you won't see happening behind the scenes of today's message is like perfectly complements the warrior shadow here. This is about a spiritual detox. This is releasing attachments to control, to proving or punishing cycles. The exorcist like shows up when it's time to reclaim energy that's been like siphoned by fear or resentment or someone else's shadow projections even. It's also about like breaking patterns of enabling, saving others while neglecting your own sanctity. In the light attribute, the exorcist says freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. And I think that's what this angel of clearing is coming to do, helping to free yourself. And then I just noticed too, it's like got the guide on the background. So this angel of clearing is your guide. You've got spiritual guides around you, ancestors, people who are supporting you. And this guide represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. And that's what's trying to come through. That's what's behind the scenes here. And I think that's what's been tainted by some energetic imbalance with the wands. Things were not harmonious or flowing in a way for you that you could feel safe to be a warrior in the light attributes. The Seven of Swords here, and then we've got the Page of Wands reverse, capping out the behind the scenes energy of the theme, is this looks like the moment when truth wants to break through self-deception or some form of strategic silence. Alliance. Interesting. Strategic alliance. That might mean something to you. But there's a breakthrough here to be had. There may be someone around you acting like covertly, or this could reflect your own energy of withholding your full power or honesty for essentially a fear that it'll create conflict. The Seven of Swords upright is like strategy. This is self-protection, I think, in this energy, or it's avoidance. The act of taking what's needed and slipping away unseen really builds that idea of you being in survival mode. You're taking what's needed and trying to like escape from it. And then the Page of Wands reverse says that there's some burnout here, misdirected passion or kind of like message distortion in some way. Angel of Clearing says your time of waiting and confusion will soon be over. This feels like, a lot of these will tell you need to do something. These messages in the angel cards. And this one feels like it's kind of like a, don't worry, this is happening on its own. You're in a period of transformation to come, and there's nothing to fix for you. There's nothing to change for you. You're like perfectly perfect as you are, even if you're in a shadow attribute of a warrior. So the spread overall, this reads like a moral recalibration. The divine is kind of bringing awareness to where you've had to armor up, maybe even compromise your inner truth just to keep peace or a sense of success or even just stability. And that exorcist, this is like the real victory now. It comes through purging the shadow warrior. No more carrying like other people's projections, or no more fighting battles that require you to dim your intuition. Let's get an energy for what this deals with. And then we'll clarify it with more cards for each position. This deals with the Two of Voices. This feels like being split in two directions. There's two paths to be had, and I don't think you want to choose either of them. You're kind of avoiding a decision, but it's simply because I think you don't really know all the information. Like I said before, that message came through, you're being lied to. So I think you can possibly sense this, or maybe you feel someone else's like split personality, two-faced energy here. What does this not mean? What does this message not mean? Eight of materials. This doesn't, I don't think this is a work matter. I was thinking maybe this was like boss energy perhaps, or like a, toxic workplace situation. I did do a reading on that recently. And it was kind of carrying over that kind of vibe at first, but I think this is Source saying, nope, you're wrong. It's something else. So what does this message mean in dealing with the Two of Voices? The Knight of Emotions. There is this element, I think, of idealism here. And it feels like you're going around in circles with something or spiraling out in some way, emotionally especially. I think the emotions may be getting the best of you and not serving you in a way that's healthy. You can be a bit caught up, I think, in fantasy and not stick to, true morality or that compass of the warrior in the upright. Your survival mode, this might be dealing with a survival mode of being charming, of being seductive in order to get what you want, or someone around you is not telling you the truth and is pulling this energy. And then let's find the advice. What is the advice? Seven of Swords. Okay. Seven of Swords is back. Interesting. Now that changes things. Now this could be the Seven of Swords in reverse. This deck doesn't, I don't read this deck in reversals. But I am feeling a sense of like waking up to something. Some sneakiness going on around you, surrounding you. I mean, it's like you got foxes all over the place. Is this like a group of people? Perhaps this isn't like one person who's not lying to, or who's lying to you. It's a group of people. And what does this mean? Or what does this lead to? Six of Inspiration. This is some form of recognition, a victory or success. This is like a successful exorcism, I think. Your advice is going to be the most important part of this message I'm getting, because in through the advice is how this exorcism through the background is like taking place. There might just need to be some like full up authenticity from you, like telling your truth no matter how uncomfortable it is or how awkward it gets or how much other people don't want to hear it or you don't want to say it or you're ashamed or, whatever. There's a plethora of reasons why you wouldn't. Okay. I was just checking if I was going to get any more messages. I thought I heard something else coming through, and then it disappeared. And then the Seven of Materials. Your perseverance is required in this transitional period. You have actually a lot of sevens. You have 3 sevens on the table. Is that it? Is there more? Yeah, it looks like 3 sevens on the table right now. And triple sevens, it's deeply tied to, the essence of like divine guidance and spiritual awakening and good fortune. I actually, that pulls me back to another reading I did a couple weeks ago called 777. I think it's 777 is the unraveling. And that might be what this unraveling is. That little yarn string talked about in that video is actually getting pulled now. So this might be like a brace yourself kind of energy. All that needs to come from you is the mentality of the warrior in the light attribute, which I will read since I didn't. And that's That's having strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self sacrifice in conquering the ego, putting your ego aside so you can actually hear your intuition and not like live in this kind of ideal fantasy of the Ten of Cups. This is about like possibly your intuition increasing so that you can come more into alignment with your soul's purpose. That misalignment is being corrected. And this is really encouraging you to trust your instincts. They're really important right now, and have faith in your choices. 777 can precursor a spiritual awakening sometimes too, so you might find yourself in that energy soon enough as you're kind of opening more and getting that spiritual detox. It might really open your intuition to like an incredible amount, one that you've just had no connection to before. Again, I don't know why. I just feel the need to emphasize that there's nothing wrong with you. You're not a broken toy. You're not on the island of misfits. And the Creator, the Holy Spirit, is really pushing that message into my brain again. It wants me to make sure that you understand this isn't punishment. This is your ticket to freedom. This is your liberation. Okay, so let's clarify. I'm feeling kind of the dark, moody energy of this clarifying deck here. So please, Spirit, clarify for me the Two of Voices and what this message deals with. That is the Four of Cups in reverse, Eight of Cups, and then the Judgment card. And we have what is this? Four of Swords in reverse on the bottom, Three of Wands in reverse, the Empress in reverse, and then the Strength card capping it off. Yeah, so this combo is just re-emphasizing that, there's like a story here of deliberate avoidance, giving way to kind of a spiritual reckoning. So there's a stalemate with the Two of Swords, right? A refusal to like decide, or a refusal to face something. You've got kind of emotional paralysis there. And then you've got Four of Cups reversed, Eight of Cups, Judgment. So awakening after essentially just emotional apathy and disconnection, and walking away from what has drained your spirit in the past. So this is like a call to like finally choose truth over comfort. And that may be where the warrior is in shadow, because you have been choosing comfort instead of truth. You've been sacrificing your own truth in order to kind of stay in the same place and avoid making this decision. This is about kind of ending the stalemate. That's what the divine wants to come forward with, and reclaiming energy from one-sided care so that you can answer your higher calling with courage, even if it means, leaving something behind. And that bottom of the deck energy, that Four of Swords reverse, Three of Wands reverse, Empress reverse, and then the Strength card. Man, there's just exhaustion here from waiting, or from nurturing situations that just really don't grow. They don't develop. They don't go anywhere. And so here we are to reclaim that inner power that you've lost, that abundance that you've been blocked from. Instead of just endlessly tending to like other people's gardens, it's time to focus and grow your own. Okay. Let's clarify what this message doesn't mean for you today. I picked work vibes. We'll see. I mean, it could be different if it's different for everybody. It's quite a few cards. We've got the Ace of Cups in reverse, Death card, the Six of Cups, and then the Ten of Swords. Okay. Eight of Wands, and what is that? Nine of Swords reverse on the bottom. So normally, the Eight of Pentacles is about like discipline and steady progress and kind of like a keep working at it energy. But in this like doesn't mean position, it's saying this isn't about just like working harder or perfecting the external things around you. This isn't like a grind more, fix more, prove more, do more. It's not about micromanaging your healing or your relationships through like this effort or tried and true kind of sense of desiring control. The Ace of Cups reverse clarifying tells me that you are drained of your emotional reserves. You're kind of giving without refilling. And then Death says that there's a necessary ending here, and a deep transformation, some form of emotional numbness, and something that you held on to or have been holding on to from the past with the Six of Cups. Some form of nostalgia prevents you from truly ending something. And it's at the point where I think you're at the end of a painful cycle, yes, but it might come in the form of final collapse if you don't, change something sooner and get things moving in like a different direction. Together, these are saying this isn't like about, polishing what's already dying. The divine isn't telling you to resuscitate what's run its course or to keep pouring from an empty cup. The lesson isn't in the labor, it's actually in the release. And then with the Eight of Wands, Nine of Swords reversed, this kind of reinforces that it's not about frantic motion or trying to outthink your pain. The shift will come quietly and quickly once you can stop overthinking or overanalyzing it. And then the mental spiral kind of breaks the moment, so you stop forcing the progress. So don't try harder here. That's not what the divine wants. Again, nothing's broken. It's perfectly as it is. Stop trying to fix what's meant to end. This isn't about like proving your dedication or your worth. It's about surrendering the grind that's kind of blocking your emotional renewal, because your healing, it's not going to come through effort. It will come through, again, your release. Your release is the most important thing here. So let's clarify the Knight of Emotions is what this does mean. The High Priestess. Remember, she was in reverse over here. And then I can't quite read that card. The King of Cups in the reverse. And let's do one more. The Seven of Cups. Bottom of the deck, what do we have here? The Wheel of Fortune, fate stepping in with the Ten of Wands beneath that, ending up like an energetic cycle of you giving too much and providing you a new financial or like some form of material. It doesn't have to be financial, but some type of a beginning that will bring you this sense of like groundedness and security. Something you've been longing for like a really long time. And then the Star in reverse below that. Okay. Well, that definitely, I feel like, alters a little bit of what I said before about the Knight of Cups, now that we have the clarifying cards, because this Knight is really bringing like emotional renewal here and intuition in motion. There's like a heartfelt pursuit of the truth with him. And after the Two of Swords paralysis, here in what this deals with, this is a moment led by soul, not by strategy, not by the Seven of Voices. It's kind of the divine saying like, follow the call that like feels alive, even if it doesn't make sense on paper. And it is like a permission here as well to re-engage with your own emotional current and to act from a place of feeling instead of a place of obligation, like the warrior in the shadow would do. And the clarifiers, so High Priestess, you've got, deep intuition, spiritual knowing, maybe some form of sacred timing. This is a soul-driven path. It's not a logical one. The King of Cups in reverse is about some form of like emotional repression. This could be self-protection as well, or a fear of vulnerability in some sense. The Seven of Cups is your kind of like fantasy options, unclear vision, but this is, I'm getting like also the element of possibility. Once clarity returns, I feel like you're kind of open to so many other options out there. And together they say that the divine is steering you away from the emotional suppressant of the king and the confusion of the Seven of Cups back into the intuitive trust of the High Priestess. The message means like open your heart again. But this time, let intuition guide the pursuit, not illusion, fantasies, or avoidance. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune, see, Ten of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and the Star reverse. So, this is the divine timing at play. The old cycle, the Ten of Wands, it's ending. The new seed is already planting, it's ready, but it can't grow under the weight of the past burdens or the disillusionment of the Star in reverse. The wheel, it turns when you release control and when you respond from the heart instead of fear. It's really just time to move again, is what I'm hearing. Not through grind, not through logic, but through your emotional truth. Follow what stirs your spirit, what lights your soul on fire. Trust what your intuition whispers. And this, I think, will let the new beginning kind of unfold, more naturally. So what is the advice with the Seven of Voices? Definitely not what I expected to see, especially with the meaning of the Knight of Emotions above. Two of Cups, okay. The Wheel, okay. Ten of Pentacles, yeah, okay. And then bottom of the deck energy, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse, the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and then the Ace of Pentacles there to correct it. Okay. I love that we have repeat cards coming back in here. We've got the Wheel returning, we've got the Nine of Swords returning. I do remember that from earlier, and then that Ace of Pentacles again. It is a rather interesting twist. But when the Seven of Swords here, I feel like shows up in this advice, it's not the same energy as like deceit or avoidance. This is about your discernment. This is about strategy. Although you can't only focus on strategy, you got to really tap into that intuition. But this is also about protecting your peace and not hiding from the truth. Instead, like moving wisely within the truth. Be smart about what and who. This Two of Cups here tells me and who. Be really smart and discerning about what and who you share your energy with right now. If you're dealing with like a conflicting situation around you, I don't think this is the time to blab and go tell all your friends. I definitely think holding your cards a little bit closer to your chest and allowing the divine to kind of clear out that toxicity before anything is said, is going to be really important. This is not the time to be like naive or fully transparent with people at all, especially ones who have shown like mixed motives. You're being really guided here to move strategically in that sense and quietly reclaim what's yours. Your time, your energy, your mental focus. This is also giving me a sense of like, you don't owe everyone full access to your truth anyways. So don't forget that. Sometimes you move in silence, not because you're like being shady or deceitful or tricky, but because it's really the only way to keep your path clear while the wheel is turning. The Two of Pentacles, the Two of Cups. This is really screaming selective partnerships here. Being aware of emotional exchange and soul contracts. So yeah, choose your alliances with care. The Wheel of Fortune is stepping in to rep that divine timing. The Angel of Clearing coming through here to help you out. Your fate, or fate itself, is realigning relationships and opportunities for you. And ones that'll build on a sense of like long-term foundations and shared values and legacy level partnerships, not people who are just kind of running you over in some way. Together, this all means like you really need to be intentional with your connections and you're not meant to isolate, but you are meant to refine who you stand beside as the next cycle unfolds for you. The right alliances will endure, but superficial ones will definitely fade. You're healing from anxiety here with this bottom of the deck energy, from overextension, and from burnout, really. You've been tired. I think you've just really tapped out and capped out on what you can give and what you can offer. You're also releasing old control patterns here with that King of Pentacles. But, you know, the spark, it does come back. That's Ace of Wands. It does come back once you stop forcing things that like no longer hold real value. And the new beginning comes through quiet power, not this element of like constant doing and moving and going and, you know, starting new things and then just burning yourself at the ends of it. So, I mean, main takeaway from your advice, I feel like, is that you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Your discernment is the strategy here. Pay attention to your intuition, your strategies. You can't strategize your way out of this like new beginning, but you need to strategize through discernment of who you're connecting with in this time. It's a bit of a sensitive time, it looks like, because something is closing and something is beginning, and the divine is definitely pushing forward this idea that it's here to support you and help you in this. Like, it's tired of seeing you get treated like shit. So it's about to, I want to say like rock some heads, but that might be too aggressive. But, you know, do trust that fate is kind of weeding out what can't grow with you. I can definitely feel like you're trapped. There's this feeling of just being like bound by like blackberry bushes or vines or something, like you can't get out. Okay. So let's clarify what this is good for. Six of Inspiration. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Two of Pentacles. The Magician. Oh, beautiful. Three of Pentacles. What is that? Seven of Wands. Defending your turf. Being protected. King of Swords. Having that logic and discernment on tap. And then the Seven of Swords in reverse. Being very honest. Six of Wands. This is a strong finale with these clarifiers. After all that shadow work and like restraint energy, that's triumph. Born kind of from a place, or not kind of, born from a place of inner alignment and not ego. This is recognition and kind of a restoration, I think, of your self-trust, especially, but not like the performative kind. It's the moment where your quiet integrity and your strategic restraint kind of pay off. The divine is showing you that the reward for choosing truth over illusion and strategy over impulse is public and spiritual validation. So you will be seen, but this time it's for who you really are and not who you had to be in order to just survive. The clarifiers with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse here as the first one. This is like stop over perfecting, or stop trying to prove yourself. You don't need to keep earning your worth. The work is like already done. And the Two of Pentacles is about staying really flexible, because, you know, success, it comes with new variables, but also new rhythms that you're going to have to learn to juggle as you're integrating and aligning between your attention and your will and your skill, like the Magician here. I mean, this is manifestation through mastery. So using what you've learned consciously and not using it reactively is going to be pretty pivotal in this recognition. And the message, I mean, it leads to success through like authentic self-direction is what I'm hearing, not overwork. You know, the Magician here says your power returns like the moment you realize you never lost it. You just misplaced it in everyone else's needs. Beneath the surface here, this shows you, I think, that you graduate from covert like strategy into a transparent strength. and that you're going to attract allies here who respect your intelligence, who respect your boundaries, and not just your output, not like just what you can do for someone. So really, this is the divine wants you to know that this is leading you to a victory through like authenticity. When you can stop overworking to prove your worth and you can start creating from your truth, recognition and real partnerships are going to follow that. And the divine's final word, your quiet strategy, it's going to become visible success, because wisdom always wins, louder, much louder than noise. Well, cool. I mean, this is leading to like a really great place. I think this is maybe for those, especially feeling discouraged, or like things have just been tits up lately, and you've just been like on this hamster wheel, this like rat race to try and keep going, trying to keep above water. So let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles, and then we will wrap this up with a couple oracle cards to close out the message. Seven of Pentacles clarified by the Ace of Wands is back, the Moon in reverse, and then the Four of Pentacles is joining. We've got the Devil in reverse, and then the Page of Swords. Oh, fascinating. With the Fool behind him. Very cool. Yeah, there's that toxic clearing, that spiritual detox happening. And does it come through a message of a new beginning, potentially? Huh. Something new reveals, I think, what you've been clinging on to too tightly, and what you're ready to let go of. Yeah, this is just like this is a beautiful divine chess move moment. I mean, that Seven of Pentacles, the divine is quietly like, this is what you can't see happening behind the scenes. The divine is quietly recalibrating and bringing justice. Oh my God, that's great. The divine is quietly recalibrating what grows and what doesn't here. You may feel like nothing's moving. You may feel like you're not gaining much traction, but this is a gestation time. This is not meaning like a stagnation. So don't try to fix it. Don't try to fix anything. Everything that you've invested emotionally, spiritually, even through restraint, is being sorted out here. The soil is being basically turned over for like a more aligned crop. Your soil was dead before. And so it's that pause before your breakthrough. This is that pause where the invisible work is still happening beneath the surface. And that's what the spiritual detox process is all about. And maybe that Seven of Swords is kind of echoing that here. You're not going to see it. It's not going to be visible, this detox, until like more germination time has passed and more soil has been turned over. I mean, a new beginning here is forming for you for sure behind the scenes. And the next spark of like purpose, it's already germinating here and it's not visible yet. But the creative pulse, it is alive. And there is like truth surfacing. There's like illusions and stuff. Subconscious patterns are unraveling around you. But you're about to see what has been obscured. And the divine is protecting your resources, and it's stabilizing your foundation before the next expansion that you have coming. You are being held in place for your own security. Your fire is reigniting. Your illusions are falling away. And your energy is being conserved for the right like next move. So it's trying to keep you from wasting it on like false starts. This is freedom from old attachments here with the Devil in reverse. There's that, again, spiritual detox happening here. And divine observation and also timing with Page of Swords. So I wonder if you actually get to just sit there and watch this unfold. Like there's not a whole lot of active participation other than just really careful who you align with. And you're being released from what was like once hooking you, once trapping you. And you're being prepared for a clean slate that actually matches what you've become. The Page of Swords especially, this card shows that like the spiritual kind of intel gathering is happening right now. and you're getting signs, you're getting synchronicities, quiet revelations possibly that are like trying to guide you on this fool's new beginning, this new journey. It's like, that's so crazy. So the scene I'm getting in my, I don't know, inner vision, is you represented as a seed in soil. And you've been sitting there waiting to grow, waiting to grow, waiting to grow, waiting to grow. But that soil is not, it's not fertile. There's nothing for you to grow into there. And so the divine comes and plucks you out of the soil and like brushes you off and cleans you off. It's doing an energetic detox on you. And then it's about to replant you for long-term growth. There's hidden truths surfacing throughout this whole process and like shedding happening in some ways, your own illusions, your own beliefs, like kind of being cracked and crumbled so you can get really solid in your own foundation. And you're being protected. Absolutely. 100% being protected here. I don't doubt that in any part of my body. The divine is really safeguarding your next beginning here until you're truly free to like take that leap. So it's kind of the calm instead of before the storm, but instead the miracle. You're about to see why it all had to pause first. Such a fantastic message. Well, I want to close this out with a Between Worlds Oracle. Seems suitable for the energy going on here. And maybe an angel number oracle too. Oh, resolve. This came up in another reading I posted. I don't remember which one. And then creativity is on the bottom this time. So resolve, the keywords for this card is hope, resilience, and commitment. Don't let them tell you all is lost, because it's not. This card is about vision and the power of radical imagination. In what might feel like a difficult situation, it's your job to hold on to what's still possible. Can you cultivate hope and then commit to action? Get good on your values, then make a plan. Make time and make it happen. Yeah, your hope, your resilience, and your commitment to trusting this phase of your life, because I feel like it's just going to feel like a shit show. I mean, I wonder if essentially you already are, or maybe you will be feeling like the world is just being swept out from under you suddenly in some form or another. But your hope and your resilience, it's coming back in, and maybe that's what you're being lied to about. And maybe it's not a person. It's like the media. It's, you know, the feeling of fear mongering everywhere around us now, all over the place on the news and in the media and on social media, etc. I mean, there's this element of yourself where you know better. I think you know better. Whoever's fear mongering you is full of shit. And I think they're going to get their due justice here, because you're in the form of a creative revolution. You just got to stay curious to it. So I'll read the creativity one as well. Creativity is about inspiration, artistry, and creative projects. A bird sits alone by candlelight, looking over its creative materials. There is a magic in the air, for the artist knows how to draw forth into the world what has only been alive in the mind. This is your natural groove, your most primal impulse, to create something from nothing. Apparently I can't read. This is your, let me try that again. This is your natural groove, your most primal impulse to create something from nothing. This card is urging you to work, and in ways that only you know how. And that kind of gets echoed here too. Like, you have this intuition to be creative. The Knight of Cups is very, very creative energy. If you don't get, like, if you can hold in the reins of your overwhelm, too many options, analysis paralysis in what you're creating, and holding kind of the emotional instability in this creativity period, I think you'll really tap into the intuition here and follow your heart a lot more. Okay, angel numbers, and then we close. We will do a closing ritual to seal the channel. What angel number would you like to close out this reading for with, Source? You provide guidance, Holy Spirit, on the angel number. Ooh, okay. 1515, the big break. Oh, shut the front door. And then 2323, endless cycles. Okay. All right. So 1515 says innovation, focus, creation, progress, momentum, mastery, achievement, and passion. An exciting opportunity, support, or extra resources are heading your way. Keep moving forward with enthusiasm and enjoy the process. True success comes from passion, and your dedication will be handsomely rewarded. The endless cycle says that you may find yourself repeatedly resisting certain truths. Are you requesting certain truths? Since that message is you are being lied to, that's kind of an interesting slip there. You're repeatedly resisting certain truths, leading to feelings of exhaustion and limitation. It's time to decide to live authentically for yourself, embracing your passion. By making this change, the world around you will begin to follow suit, breaking the cycle and fostering transformation.